Hello, my name is Alex. I am so glad you have joined me today. We are going to explore a topic that is very close to my heart. It is the future of our magnificent oceans. These vast blue spaces are full of wonder and life. They give us so much, from the air we breathe to the food we eat. But our oceans are in trouble. We have taken too much from them for too long. Now, we must find new ways to live in harmony with them. Please subscribe to our channel to learn more with us. We have many more stories to share about our incredible planet. We stand at a critical moment in our planet's history. The choices we make now will decide the future of marine life. For centuries, we have seen the ocean as a limitless source of food. We have cast our nets wider and deeper, often without thinking of the consequences. This has led to a great decline in wild fish populations. Many species are now threatened with extinction. The delicate balance of our marine ecosystems is at risk. It is a serious problem, but it is not without a solution. There is hope, and it comes from a surprising place. Farming. It might seem strange to think of farming in the water. We are used to seeing farms on land, with fields of corn or wheat. But humans have been farming the water for thousands of years. This practice is called aquaculture. It is the farming of fish, shellfish, and even seaweed. It offers us a way to produce food without putting more pressure on our wild fish stocks. But not all aquaculture is the same. We must learn to do it in a way that helps our planet, not harms it. This is the story of sustainable aquaculture. In this journey together, we will discover what this means. We will look at how we can grow food in our rivers, lakes, and seas. We will see how this can be done in harmony with nature. We will meet the people who are leading this quiet revolution. They are finding clever ways to feed their communities and protect the environment at the same time. This is a story of innovation, of community, and of hope. It is a story that shows us how we can build a better future for ourselves and for the vast, beautiful blue world that supports us all. So, what is this idea of sustainable aquaculture? Let us break it down into simple terms. Think of it like being a good gardener. A good gardener does not just take from the soil, they care for it. They add compost to keep it rich and healthy. They choose plants that grow well in their local climate. They work with nature, not against it. Sustainable aquaculture is the very same idea, but applied to water. It means farming fish and other seafood in a way that is good for the environment, good for people, and good for the long-term health of our planet. It is about balance. Sustainable farmers think about the entire ecosystem. They choose species that are native to the area or that will not cause harm if they escape. They are careful about what they feed their fish, avoiding waste that can pollute the water. They manage their farms to prevent the spread of diseases to wild populations. It is a thoughtful and responsible way of producing food. The goal is to create a system that can continue for many, many generations without damaging the natural world around it. It is about giving back as much as we take. This approach is very different from some older methods of fish farming. In the past, the main goal was often to produce as much fish as possible, as quickly as possible. This sometimes led to serious problems. For example, some farms used too many chemicals or antibiotics. This could pollute the surrounding water and harm wild animals. Some farms were built in sensitive areas like mangrove forests, destroying important habitats. Sustainable aquaculture learns from these mistakes. It puts the health of the planet first, understanding that a healthy planet is the only way to ensure we have healthy food. Ultimately, sustainable aquaculture is about respect. It is about respecting the intricate web of life in our oceans and rivers. It is about respecting the needs of local communities who depend on these waters for their livelihoods. And it is about respecting future generations who deserve to inherit a world with healthy, thriving oceans. It is not just a set of techniques or rules, it is a philosophy. It is a promise to care for our blue planet as it is cared for us. It is a commitment to farming our waters wisely. It is important to understand why aquaculture has become so essential. Our human family is growing. By the year 2050, there may be nearly 10 billion people on Earth. All of these people will need to eat. Fish and seafood are an incredibly important source of food for billions around the globe. They are rich in protein, vitamins, and healthy fats that are vital for human development, especially for children. For many coastal communities, fish is not just a part of their diet, it is the main source of their daily nutrition. For a very long time, we have relied on catching fish from the wild. Our oceans, rivers, and lakes have provided for us. But there is a limit. Scientists have told us that we are now catching fish at or beyond the maximum sustainable level. This means that if we take any more, fish populations will not be able to recover. Many of our most popular fisheries are already overfished and in decline. We simply cannot continue to take more and more from a finite resource. This is where aquaculture steps in. It offers a way to meet the growing demand for seafood without emptying our oceans. Aquaculture is not just about food, it is also about jobs. The fishing and aquaculture sector provides a livelihood for hundreds of millions of people worldwide. Many of these jobs are in developing countries. They support families and entire communities. As wild fish stocks decline, these jobs are put at risk. Sustainable aquaculture can create new opportunities. It can provide stable employment for people in coastal and rural areas. It allows them to build a secure future for their children right in their own communities, without having to move to crowded cities. Therefore, the need for aquaculture is clear. We need it to ensure food security for a growing population. We need it to provide essential nutrients to keep people healthy, and we need it to create and sustain jobs for millions of families. The question is not whether we need aquaculture. The question is how we can do it right. We must develop and support farming practices that are sustainable. This will allow us to enjoy the benefits of aquaculture while protecting the precious natural resources upon which we all depend. It is a challenge we must face together. To appreciate the new way, we must first understand the problems of the old. Early forms of intensive fish farming, while well-intentioned, often created significant environmental issues. One major problem was pollution. Imagine a crowded pen of fish, all being fed large amounts of food. Not all of that food gets eaten. The uneaten food, along with fish waste, sinks to the bottom. This can create a thick sludge that uses up oxygen in the water. This lack of oxygen can harm or kill other marine life living nearby, creating what are known as dead zones beneath the farm cages. Another serious concern was the destruction of important coastal habitats. Mangrove forests are incredibly valuable ecosystems. They act as nurseries for young fish, protect coastlines from storms, and store huge amounts of carbon. In some parts of the world, large areas of mangrove forests were cut down to make way for shrimp farms. This had devastating effects. It destroyed the homes of countless species. It left coastal communities more vulnerable to flooding and erosion. It was a short-term gain that led to a long-term loss for both people and nature. The feed used in many older farms also presented a challenge. Many popular farmed fish like salmon are carnivorous. This means they eat other fish. To feed them, we had to catch vast quantities of small wild fish, such as anchovies and sardines. These small fish were then ground up into fish meal and fish oil. This practice put enormous pressure on wild fish populations at the bottom of the food chain. It was like we were emptying one part of the ocean to farm another. This was not a truly sustainable solution. It simply shifted the problem from one species to another. Finally, there was the issue of disease and escaped fish. When fish are kept in crowded conditions, diseases can spread quickly. In the past, some farms used a lot of antibiotics and chemicals to control these diseases. These substances could then leak into the surrounding environment. Furthermore, if farmed fish escaped from their pens, they could cause problems for wild populations. They could compete with wild fish for food and habitat. They could also spread diseases or interbreed with wild fish, weakening the natural gene pool. These were serious problems that needed a solution. The good news is that we are learning from our past mistakes. A new generation of fish farmers, scientists, and conservationists are working together. They are developing smarter, cleaner, and kinder ways to farm the water. These new methods are designed to work with nature, not against it. One of the biggest changes is in how farms are sited. Instead of clearing sensitive habitats, new farms are often placed in areas where they will have minimal impact. Some are even being moved further offshore into deeper waters with stronger currents that help disperse waste naturally. Another key improvement is in managing the health of the fish. Instead of relying heavily on chemicals and antibiotics, modern farmers focus on prevention. This is much like how we try to stay healthy ourselves. They give the fish more space, which reduces stress and the risk of disease. They use high-quality, nutritious feed to boost the fish's natural immune systems. Some farms even use cleaner fish, which are small fish that swim inside the pens and naturally eat parasites off the larger fish. This is a brilliant example of using nature's own solutions to solve a problem. Waste management has also been completely rethought. Modern sustainable farms have strict systems to control waste. They use advanced feeding systems that deliver food slowly, ensuring that more of it is eaten by the fish and less is wasted. They monitor water quality constantly. Some innovative farms are part of a system called Integrated Multi-Trophic Aquaculture, or IMTA. In this system, the waste from the fish becomes food for other species. For example, seaweed and shellfish like mussels can be grown next to the fish pens. They filter the water and thrive on the excess nutrients, turning waste into another valuable product. Finally, there is a strong focus on preventing escapes. Farm pens and nets are now built to be much stronger and more secure. They are designed to withstand storms and resist damage from predators like seals. Regular inspections and maintenance are a top priority. By keeping the farmed fish securely contained, we can protect the health and genetic integrity of wild populations. These new ways show that aquaculture can be a force for good. They prove that we can produce healthy food while also being responsible stewards of our blue planet. Some of the most brilliant solutions in sustainable aquaculture are also the simplest. They are often based on ancient traditions that have been perfected over centuries. A wonderful example of this is rice fish farming, which is common in many parts of Asia. For thousands of years, farmers have been raising fish in the same flooded paddy fields where they grow rice. It is a perfect partnership. The rice plants provide shade and shelter for the fish. The fish, in turn, help the rice. They eat pests and weeds, reducing the need for harmful pesticides. The benefits of this simple system are immense. The constant movement of the fish helps to circulate oxygen in the water, which is good for the rice roots. Their waste acts as a natural fertilizer, enriching the soil and reducing the need for chemical fertilizers. This saves the farmer money and protects the local environment from pollution. Most importantly, it provides the farming family with two harvests from the same piece of land, a crop of rice and a crop of nutritious fish. This improves their food security and gives them an extra product to sell at the market. Another incredibly sustainable form of aquaculture is the farming of shellfish, such as mussels, clams, and oysters. These creatures are true heroes of the marine world. They are filter feeders, which means they get their food by filtering tiny particles out of the water. They do not need to be fed by the farmer at all. They simply clean the water around them. A single mussel can filter many liters of seawater every day. By doing this, they remove excess nutrients and algae, which helps to prevent harmful algal blooms and keeps the water clear and healthy. Mussel and oyster farming has a very small environmental footprint. The shellfish are typically grown on ropes or in racks suspended in the water. This requires no land, no fresh water, and no feed. It is a wonderfully efficient way to produce high-protein food. The ropes and racks can also create a new habitat, a sort of vertical reef that provides shelter for small wild fish and other marine creatures. It is a perfect example of a system where food production actually helps to restore and improve the health of the local ecosystem. It is simple, clever, and incredibly effective. When we talk about sustainable aquaculture, we must talk about a fish called tilapia. This remarkable fish has been called an aquatic chicken for good reason. It is hardy, it grows quickly, and it can be farmed in a wide variety of simple, low-cost systems. This makes it an ideal fish for small-scale farmers in developing countries. Tilapia are mostly herbivores or omnivores, meaning they eat plants or a mix of plants and small organisms. This is a huge advantage. They do not need to be fed with expensive fish meal made from wild-caught fish. Instead, tilapia can thrive on a diet of algae, small aquatic plants, and agricultural byproducts. This makes them much more sustainable to farm than carnivorous species. Many small-scale tilapia farms are integrated with other farming activities. For example, the wastewater from a tilapia pond, which is rich in nutrients, can be used to irrigate and fertilize vegetable gardens. This creates a closed-loop system where nothing is wasted. It allows a family to produce both fish and vegetables, improving their diet and their income at the same time. Tilapia are also very resilient. They can tolerate a range of water conditions, which makes them easier to farm for people who may not have access to advanced technology. They can be raised in simple earthen ponds, in tanks, or even in cages placed in lakes and reservoirs. This versatility has made tilapia one of the most important farmed fish in the world. It provides an affordable and accessible source of protein for hundreds of millions of people, particularly in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. It is truly a fish for the people. Of course, like any type of farming, tilapia farming must be done responsibly. It is important to manage the farms well to prevent escapes into natural waterways where they are not native. It is also crucial to maintain good water quality in the ponds. But when done correctly, sustainable tilapia farming is a powerful tool for fighting poverty and hunger. It empowers small-scale farmers, improves nutrition, and provides a model of food production that is both productive and gentle on the planet. The story of tilapia is a story of hope and potential. The future of sustainable aquaculture is being shaped by incredible innovation. One of the most exciting areas of research is in developing new types of fish feed. As we know, relying on wild-caught fish for feed is not sustainable in the long run. So, scientists are searching for alternatives. They are having amazing success with plant-based proteins like soy and peas. They are also exploring even more creative ideas such as using protein from insects. Insects can be raised very efficiently on organic waste, turning a problem into a valuable resource. Another revolutionary new feed source is algae. Microalgae are tiny aquatic plants that are packed with protein and healthy omega-3 fatty acids, the same nutrients that make fish so good for us. We can grow huge amounts of algae in special tanks on land, using sunlight and carbon dioxide. This process does not require fertile soil or fresh water. By feeding fish with algae, we can essentially cut out the middleman, the small wild fish, and create a much more efficient and sustainable food chain. This technology has the potential to completely transform the aquaculture industry. Beyond technology, another powerful change is happening. More and more women are becoming leaders and workers in aquaculture. In many traditional fishing communities, fishing at sea was primarily done by men. Aquaculture, however, often takes place closer to home. This provides new opportunities for women to participate and earn their own income. They are involved in all aspects of the business, from managing hatcheries and feeding the fish to processing and selling the final product at the market. This is a very positive development. When women are empowered economically, the benefits are felt throughout the entire community. Studies have shown that women are more likely to invest their earnings back into their families. They spend it on better food, healthcare, and education for their children. By creating opportunities for women, sustainable aquaculture is not just producing fish. It is building stronger, healthier, and more equitable societies. It is a wonderful example of how caring for our planet can also lead to greater social justice and human well-being. The new faces of aquaculture are changing lives for the better. The story of sustainable aquaculture is not just about farmers and scientists. It is about all of us. Every one of us has a role to play in building a better future for our oceans. The choices we make every day, especially the choices we make in the grocery store or at a restaurant, have a powerful impact. When we choose to buy seafood, we are casting a vote with our money. We can choose to vote for practices that harm our oceans, or we can vote for practices that help them. The power is in our hands. So, how can you make a good choice? It is easier than you might think. Look for seafood with sustainability labels. There are several trusted certification programs such as the Aquaculture Stewardship Council and Best Aquaculture Practices. These labels mean that the farm has been checked by an independent expert. It confirms that the farm meets high standards for environmental protection and social responsibility. By choosing products with these labels, you are supporting farmers who are doing the right thing. You are rewarding them for their commitment to a healthy planet. Do not be afraid to ask questions. When you're at a fish counter or a restaurant, ask where the seafood comes from. Ask if it was farmed or wild-caught. If it was farmed, ask if it was raised sustainably. Your questions send a powerful message to businesses. They show that customers care about these issues. This encourages them to source their products more responsibly. The more we ask, the more transparent the seafood industry will become. Your curiosity can drive real change all the way down the supply chain. Let us all become champions for our oceans. Let us choose seafood that is good for us and good for the planet. Let us support the innovative farmers who are working in harmony with nature. Let us celebrate the simple, brilliant solutions that feed communities and restore ecosystems. Our oceans have given us so much. Now it is our turn to give back. By making thoughtful, informed choices, we can all be part of the solution. Together, we can ensure that our magnificent blue planet remains healthy and full of life for all the generations to come.